Corrie are fantastic. A lot of laughs there.
So,
over the road, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
Yes, very much. Nigel Havers, welcome to the Breakfast
Thank you.
Sofa.
A pleasure to be here.
So, your stories that you're going to be telling on tour, that you're going to be doing, they won't be about the Coronation Street Cup.
I don't know. I haven't worked it out yet. I'm just going to wing it. Going to chat. It's a chat, really. I mean, I say I'm going to wing it. I've organised a few clips and things, you know.
OK, can you set the stage for us? What is it? Are you on an armchair? Are you at a...
No, I'll be standing up.
Just standing up?
Yeah.
Just strolling around?
Strolling around, having a chat.
Audience participation, will you be...
I would imagine so. I might do a magic trick here and there.
Can you do magic?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I haven't got any things.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What would you do? What's your magic trick?
I've got several.
OK.
I'll teach someone how to make a decent martini. It's a packed show full of bits and bobs. And stories about my career.
Well, this is where I was kind of going with the Coronation Street, because you said they were all lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to tell any stories that are kind of outlandish and that we might discover that someone we thought was lovely is not lovely?
No, because I can't, because they're all lovely. Seriously. No, seriously, they are.
You got on with every single person you've worked with.
I have,
over
except
your
for one,
career.
actually, who I can't name, Judy Davis. Who's an actress.
Why?
OK.
And I never really got on with her. And I was filming with David Lean in India for a long time. And I mean, it wasn't just me. She was difficult to work with. And that's pretty much the only person...
What did that look like?
Well, I mean, I just was... I didn't say much. And she didn't say much to me.
Oh, so you went into a sort of silent
Yeah,
mode.
we did.
OK.
And she was quite... David Lean came... It was an interesting scene. I arrive and she's got her feet in a little pond in our garden. And with Alec Guinness, who was playing Godbilly, an Indian. And I'm shocked that my wife, future wife, is sharing a space with an Indian gentleman. So I said, come on, you have to leave now. And she turns around and says, Ronnie... And David Lean said, could you swing your legs around like this? Because we can see creases in your neck. She said, I don't mind the creases in my neck. I want you to see the creases.
Good for her.
And he said, well, it's a prettier shot. And she turned around and said, what decent film have you ever directed?
Ouch.
And all the camera crew just disappeared. I was left going, well, anyway... Well, carry on. So David was furious.
There is an absolute joy for you, I'd imagine. If you have been in some of the most iconic film moments that exist, and I'm thinking now Chariots of Fire, for example, the running on the beach scene.
Yeah.
Lift the lid a little bit for us about something that might maybe spoil the magic, but maybe not. Doesn't matter, does it? Long time has passed.
It was a long take. And we were very early... one of the first things we shot was that scene.
Because if people haven't seen it before, you were all runners.
We're all runners, and we'd been training for 4 months.
OK.
And we were in sort of pretty good nick. And there's this beach, a mile long, each take, in freezing water. And our coach said, this is not a good thing for an athlete to do, in freezing water. Anyway, that's filming.
Yeah, and were any of the actors not up to it? I mean, presumably you had different levels of fitness. Were you...?
No, we were all pretty damn fit.
OK.
Yeah, we were good.
So no problems there?
No.
No one was gasping at the
No,
end?
no.
We've got to have an hour's
We did 6 takes, that's 6 miles.
OK.
Roughly. And we carried on filming, and then a note came from the lab saying that the neg got spoiled in the bath, it's called. So you couldn't... It was...
So you had to do it again?
Had to do it again. So we did it about a month later, and it was a much better day. There were the cloud. It looked so much better. So God was smiling. And I was frightened because I'd had an accident while hurdling about 10 days before, and I'd dislocated my shoulder. I had an involvement with a hurdle. Showing off to Ben.
For those people who don't know, that was part of the role. I mean, you weren't just hurdling for fun.
No. I had to learn how to be a hurdler.
Yeah.
And I was showing off to Ben Cross and clipped her hurdle and stuck my hand out, and I dislocated my shoulder and also cracked my wrist, broke my wrist. And I didn't tell anybody about that.
Well, you can't.
Because I couldn't. that could be put back, but so it mended on its own in a very odd way.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, you know about cameras. I think we can see that.
Oh, camera 5, I think. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, can you just kind of click it back? It doesn't.
No,
that's
I just never went back, and my whole thing was messed around with.
Any other thing, ailments you want to share with us?
No, but that's filming. You know, that's what happens.
Do you know what I'm fascinated about? Obviously, we can't say the name of your tour because it's got a rude word.
Well, it's
don't.
No, I'm not going to. I would never say it. But I did check up on this word, and someone said this word in the House of Commons a year or so ago. And the Speaker said, "Wait a minute." And he checked and said,
It's fine.
It's fine. He did say that.
We're not.
I know. But it basically says Nigel Havers talking nonsense. I mean,
that's exactly it.
Yeah, which is mostly what I talk.
I am fascinated about this new ITV drama, A Cruel Love, that you are playing. Your grandfather.
Yes, I am.
What an incredible history to have in your family.
It was the weirdest thing, in a way. It's all about Ruth Ellis, as you know.
Who was the last woman hanged in the UK. And your grandfather, well, you tell me, he was the judge.
He was the judge that sentenced her.
Who passed the sentence down.
Yes.
Now, there he is. What was he... Just away from him as a judge with the robes and the wig, what was he like as a granddad?
Oh, I adored him. He was the most charming man and very liberal and easygoing and not scary in any sense. But looking as a judge, he looked always quite scary.
They kind of should be.
But
How did he feel about that? Did you ever talk to him
I did.
about it?
And he told me, and everyone, that he tried to make Ruth Ellis say to the jury that, you know, the man was so cruel to me that in self-defence I shot him. And she kept saying, no, I knew what I was doing. And my grandfather would say, no, let's start again. Oh. He bullied you, he harassed you, so you had to. In no, I wanted to shoot him. You know, whatever he said, she wouldn't go down that road.
I mean,
his job was, and his hands were tied, because whatever happened, if you murder someone in those days, you were hanged.
It's quite a thing to have on you, isn't it? When you know you pass that. I mean, as a judge, you know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But for that to be part of his legacy.
This is one of the many reasons we don't still do this, because the court and the atmosphere in the court is so extraordinary. Because if you're found guilty, that is the end of you. And thank heavens we don't do that now. But when we filmed that scene in court, the atmosphere was extraordinary.
You've got a very kind of calm, mellow sort of vibe about you. Do you ever get wound up about stuff?
I get wound up about bicyclists who nearly kill me on the pavement.
Is that that's the thing that gets you? Isn't it? Get really angry
That's about the only thing that does.
That's it, isn't it?
Well, only if they're on the pavement, though, not if they're...
Yeah, if they go through... I have a thing about them, because they don't obey any rules of the road.
Do you bellow at them?
I do.
Oh, do you?
My wife says to me, don't do that, because one day someone will turn around and thump you, which they nearly have, actually.
Oh, dear. Well, don't do it.
Good luck on the tour.
So lovely.
Thank you. We're going to... we start off in Norwich, by the way, but then we're going... Just dates. Yeah, they're really nice. I'm looking forward to it, even though I'm slightly apprehensive, because I've never done it before. And I'm not a stand-up comic.
Something tells me you are a born raconteur.
You're a good raconteur.
I don't think there's an issue there. I really don't. Lovely to see you this morning. Thank you.
A pleasure. Lovely to see you.
Nigel's tour begins next month. We'll be back with the headlines very shortly.